Welcome back everyone to the Hello World guys. This is another episode of the Advanced SFML game series, and in this video we are going to make our coin interactable and allow Mario to pick up coins and progress that way. So what we'll do is in the physics here you can see that currently we cast the, so if I were to close this my debug draw here, you can see we create a listener and we cast the user data pointer to a contact listener, and we do that. However, in order to actually know what happens is, by the way, one thing I have changed, you might have noticed, is that on begin contact and on end contact now both require a fixture pointer called other, which will allow us to get the other fixture that we are colliding with. And in physics.cpp we also pass this. So if it's fixture A, we pass fixture B, and if it is fixture B, we pass fixture A. Yeah, like that. So currently we only cast this to a contact listener. However, that is impractical because when we actually want to access this user data to find out whether Mario has collided with a coin, for example, we want to know other data about the thing we have collided with as well. So we will need to create a more sophisticated structure for our user data. So in order to do that, what we will do is in here we will create a struct called fixture data, and in here we are going to have a contact listener pointer called listener, and we are also going to create an enum class here called fixture data type, and this will represent whatever type of data is contained in the fixture, because the different objects might have different data. So we are also going to have a field of that type in our fixture data struct, and for this type we might have a Mario and a map tile and an object. So here we are going to create a union, an unnamed union, by the way, and what that means is that all of these elements will share the same space, which means only one of them will be valid at any given time. So we will go ahead and create a Mario pointer called Mario for actually having that, and we will create a struct, and we create an unnamed struct inside the union so that we can have both of these be at the same time, the map x and map y values, and we'll also create an object pointer called object, and do not forget to include object.h and mario.h as well. So that works, and now our fixture data works. And now when we want to do that, we'll actually not cast this to just that, but instead let's go ahead and cast this to a fixture data pointer. So as you can see, I'm going to go here, and so in here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a fixture data pointer called data, and set it, and we are going to cast this to a fixture data, and we are going to of course do the same here, and we are going to check if the data is valid and the data listener is valid before we call anything on it. And of course we do it like that, and that is going to work. And in end contact we'll basically do the same thing, but this time we will call on end contact instead of on begin contact, and that is pretty much it. It's pretty much all we need to get like this kind of system working. And let me just move these here. Oh, actually not like that. Yeah, and this should actually allow us to do that. Of course we'll now need to make our Mario and other classes be kind of work with this workflow, so that when we get a fixture data, then it actually is like that correctly. So let's go ahead and implement, first of all let's implement our Mario class and make it do that correctly, and then we'll implement the other classes as well. So in Mario here I'm going to create a fixture data called fixture data, yeah, just like that. And in mario.cpp I am going to go ahead and set this fixture data dot listener to this, and then fixture data dot Mario to this as well, and also fixture data dot type is equal to fixture data type colon Mario. And yeah, that's pretty much all we need, and we of course don't need to set all of the other variables if we are not using that. And we'll remove the statement that we have here, that's outdated. And now what we'll do is we can basically actually, let's not just remove that, let's instead cut this thing that we have got here, and when we are creating our fixture definition, maybe we can paste this here. Of course we won't use this here, but this time we will use a reference to our fixture data that we have got, and that works pretty awesome. So now let's go ahead and do it for the other stuff as well. So currently of course we have got only 3 things, so let's go ahead and implement it in map.cpp. So in map.cpp we of course do this, and we don't use a we just use a create fixture here without anything, but we need to set it so that we set the tiles and this correctly, so you need to use a fixture definition. So doing that is really simple. We can just go ahead and create a fixture definition, and just like that, and we can create a fixture data pointer called fixture data and set it equal to a new fixture data. Do not forget to include the box2d/b2_fixture.h here, and we are going to set the density to 0 since this is a static shape, and when we are creating the fixture we will pass a reference to a pointer to our fixture data. So in here for the fixture definition, not data by the way, and in fixture data we are going to set it type to map tile and set the map x value to whatever x we've got and the map y to y, and we'll just set it like that, and this should work. We should have basically set it correctly, and in right now on the only thing that is left is coin.cpp. so if I were to open that, currently coin is not even a collidable body, so we need to make it so that coin is not only a collidable body but also we can use it to kind of kind of collect the coins and make these disappear once the coin is collected. But that is something that we are going to do in the next video. In this video we are going to improve, we are going to make sure that we only use is grounded if Mario has collided with a map tile. So we won't do this if Mario has not collided with that. We will only do this if Mario has collided with a map tile and not if he has collided with something like an object. So we will create a other get user data dot pointer, so we will basically create fixture data pointer with that kind of just like that, and if this data is of course correct, not null, and the data type is equal to fixture data type : map tile, and then only we'll increase the is grounded to that, and we'll just copy and paste this in end contact, and kind of, by the way, we need to use double equals here, don't forget that, and kind of just check if it's grounded is greater than 0 as well, and we'll subtract it's grounded. So yeah, this is pretty simple, and let's go ahead and see if our program still works or it has stopped functioning. So you probably want the contact listener to be above everything because we are using it here, and including Mario and object won't work since Mario also includes physics and it will create a circular dependency. So Mario will include physics and physics will include Mario and kind of won't work. So you want to have forward declarations here instead, since we can just have them work just as well. So we'll create forward declarations since we are only using pointers to these types. So if I were to right now go ahead and compile this, what you should see is that everything works and now we can use it. And by the way, it gives an error about the unsigned integer we used in a loop. You can go ahead and make that sign to kind of forget that warning, but it does work. And you can see as soon as it starts, you can see it says that it does a null pointer. Well, the reason it did that was because of a mistake in our map, that we did create fixture data definition and we did set it to everything, but we actually need to go ahead and set the fixture definitions shape to the shape that we have created. So we'll have to go ahead and say the shape that we have got, and if we don't set it to that, it will of course give us errors because it requires the shape in order to actually create that. So let's just go ahead and stop and let's just run that, and what you should see is that this time it does work, hopefully, and we won't get any other errors. So yeah, you can see that it compiled and we have got Mario here, and it does work still kind of the way it did before, but now it has opened the opportunity for us to kind of create different kind of more complex functionalities, because now we can get to whatever thing that we have collided with. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, and in the next video we'll make it so that when Mario collides with a coin, then he automatically kind of gets that coin, and yeah, that's gonna be pretty awesome. So we'll do that in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for that. I'll see you in the next one. Share this video with other people as well, and bye.